Internet, and welcome to Fanfiction Contempt Theater 9002!
Oh, good, the
Were
stream
you
has
about
started.
to
That
say
means it's time for me to go play other games.
Yeah, were you about to say 2009?
Maybe.
Okay, just making sure.
We heard it!
Anyway, back to what we're covering today. As always, do not at any point in time contact the authors in this here fanfictions, because that would be technically harassment, and that's illegal by Twitch guidelines. So, today we will be covering a Harry Potter Elder Scrolls series crossover that I discovered when searching for more good fictions to read. This is not one of them. This is Child of Light and Madness. Sheogorath is bored, so he decided to take a trip through the multiverse. Can't do that. During his
Literally
trip,
never been able to do that.
he comes across Voldemort on his way to kill the Potter family. Becoming enraged by the cruelty of Voldemort,
He literally wouldn't care.
Sheogorath literally ripped someone's tongue out and turned it into a block of cheese, canonically.
Literally did not care.
Canonically, there is a landmark in which if you insult Sheogorath's beard, he will teleport you to, so you can fall to your death 10 times. Sheogorath
puts you back on the ground to make you think you're crazy.
Sheogorath is not a man moved by cruelty. So, Sheogorath saves Harry and decides to raise Harry himself, asking Meridia for his help.
Oh my god, I just read the first, 2 sentences.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez,
How will
no,
Harry turn out being raised by two gods? Let's get it straight. They're not gods. They are Daedra lords. There is a difference. The Aedra can whip the shit out of the Daedric lords. However, the Daedric lords are actually kind of important to governing the realms of Oblivion. So they don't. Funny how that works. Sitting on his throne in the palace of Nushoth, Sheogorath was bored. It had been centuries since he'd been out adventuring as the hero of Kvatch, and while it had been fun to meet the Dragonborn during his vacation in the mind of Pelagius the Mad, it had been years since the Wabbajack had been last used. I don't see what's the problem with that. Oh, I am sick, C8. I am.
You do know that he spends most of his time going, damn it, where'd I leave that thing?
I mean, yes. Also doing the fish stick, it's a very delicate state of mind.
Yes, but I'm just saying, he really doesn't actually like losing that thing. It's actually kind of important to him.
Isley, actually it's the other way around. Sorry, Isley was saying that several princes got together to curse Sheogorath, and it's actually the other way around. All the princes got together to curse Jigalag to turn him into Sheogorath, because Jigalag was so powerful.
Yeah.
Oh, is that all?
Claiming the Aedra are only stronger than the Daedra in the material plane, which I believe is untrue.
Well, no, it's like the Aedra can't fight the Daedra on their home planes where they have absolute control, and the Daedra can't fight the Aedra on the Aedric home planes where they have absolute control. But on the material plane, they absolutely can get their shit blasted by the Aedra.
It's like, you don't go fight Nurgle in Nurgle's garden. You go fight Nurgle on someplace else.
Somewhere that's not Nurgle's garden. Yeah, more or less, because like I said, the planes of Oblivion are basically the counterbalance to the Adric planes, and so they all need to be managed by their own forms of, not gods because they aren't, but lords. And they have absolute control of those planes because they are the manifestation of the concept of that plane.
Well, I was going to say, to be fair, the Daedric princes fall into kind of a weird slot between god and not god.
Well, yeah, it's the thing is that it requires a shit ton to become an Adric god, like Tiber Septim did. But to become a Daedric god, all you gotta do is get chosen by the Daedric god to replace them. That's literally it.
Yeah. Which I've never quite understood why they do that.
Boredom.
Right, but I'm just saying, it doesn't actually change anything, right?
No, not really.
Yeah, like, that's what I thought. I'm just saying,
it's pretty much only Sheogorath that does that too, because Sheogorath is madness, and he's like, I'm bored, I'm gonna be you now. And you're just like, what? And then poof.
I would like to not be.
But yeah.
Which, remind me, what all was it that Tiber Septim did that got him promoted?
Oh, it was something with the dragon soul and the concentrated belief of all his people, and then the self-sacrifice, convincing the other Adric gods to be like, well, that was pretty awesome, so you're an Adric god now.
Only the elves really didn't like that.
Well, yeah, it's because, they didn't become Adric gods. So, no one else can.
And will launch a religious genocidal war just to prove that you're wrong. That doesn't prove us wrong, it just means you're assholes. I can't hear you for the sound of my perching.
Exactly. What, Max?
Well, I'm sorry, so Tiber Septim actually was accepted into the ranks of the Aedra?
Oh, yeah, no, the Aedra raised him themselves.
Sorry, so let me get this straight. We have, you're cool, hop in. And then the elves apparently took offense to that?
No. So see, way fucking long ago, there was an emperor of the Imperials and various other nation states at the time that was such a badass that when he died, the other gods were like, holy shit, you were a badass. You get to be a god now, too. And then, like, 7,000 years down the line, the elves are still not gods, and are like, we're mad that we're not gods, so we're gonna kill everyone that believes that a human can become a god.
Even though there's historical proof that it happened.
Oh yeah, no, in Oblivion there was actually a ritual that requires Adric blood to do, and the only way you can get that blood is from Tiber Septim's armor from where he was stabbed.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't realize just how petty the elves were.
Oh, no!
Oh,
when you actually know the story, it makes Skyrim that's why everybody hates the elves in Skyrim so much, because it is the pettiest bullshit ever.
Oh, they're so fucking petty.
I love that. Like, that is just the ultimate you didn't win attempt that failed.
No. You want to talk about you didn't win attempt that failed? Let's talk about the Dwemer. The Dwemer tried to build a machine to kill the gods, and it almost worked until the gods said, no, you're deleted, and deleted the Dwemer.
Oh, is that why the Dwemer are all gone? They just got deleted.
Yes.
They literally got deleted.
Technically, they didn't get deleted. They got turned into horrible little goblin creatures. Didn't they get turned into the Falmer?
No, the Falmer are fallen snow elves.
Right. Just hang around in Dwemer ruins, and everyone was like, these must be Dwemer.
Literally, straight up, only one Dwemer existed, and that was because he wasn't in the shit books of the gods, and even then his soul faded or some shit after you do whatever in Morrowind.
Right.
Like, the gods were just straight up just like, no, you're not allowed to do this. Expecto delito.
But yeah, no, like, it's the pettiest thing ever. And the best part about it is, like, if it hadn't been for the fact that Tiber Septim became a god, everybody would be doing the Molag Ball circle jerk.
That's true. Yeah.
But the elves are still so mad. They're like, we don't care that he stopped Molag Ball and banished him from the material plane forever.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was the badass part, is where he 1v Molag Bald, which is a Daedric lord. Yeah.
Huh. to be fair, he did have a little help from the god of time, but really not all that much.
That's
Basically,
all right. You know what?
Basically, the god of time went, hold up. I'm gonna make sure this fight's even. Go nuts.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm now starting to see why, even without playing any other games, Tiber Septim was one of the coolest motherfuckers in the books.
He was glorious. It was like, the Elder Scrolls lore is actually really awesome.
Yeah, like if you actually play the games in the order and like you can actually figure out the lore, like it actually makes each successive game so much more fun.
That's just, oh my god.
Because you play the Elder Scrolls 5 and the elves are like kicking up a stink and you're like, oh my god, are you guys still being petty assholes about this? And the answer is yes.
Because if you played 3, you had the option of playing the DLC Somerset Isle, which was the elves' homeland. Yeah, and they're petty as shit back then too. They've been petty as shit for fucking literally thousands of years.
Well, okay, actually, you know what? Let's be fair. It's mostly the High Elf. The Wood Elves just kind of get dragged along because
the Wood Elves are cannibals. Let's get this straight.
I'm not saying they aren't cannibals. I'm just saying, like, to be fair, they're kind of in the position that essentially a lot of Germans were, which was either I go along with the Nazis or I get murdered.
Well, yeah.
I'm not saying they aren't culpable. I'm just saying they're
also
in a really bad spot.
Also, the elves hate the Bretons, which are humans who have gained a resistance to magic.
Also, they're really good at it. And the elves don't like that.
Oh, okay. So Bretons did what humans tend to do. They fucked up the natural order.
Adapt, survive, and thrive, yes.
Yeah, okay. That's... I can see why the elves would be somewhat peeved about that. Like, hey, you're resistant to magic now. Yeah, but you can also still use it and you're really good with it. Yeah.
Like, my memory's a little bit shaky on Bretons. I always loved them, but it's been a while. But basically what happened is that Bretons were a offshoot of Imperials that went to a really, really fucking cold island and shit, and they were just like, we're gonna magic hard. And then they did, and they magicked even harder. And they're like, wait, but we can probably magic even harder. And then they did it. And everyone's like, holy Jesus Christ, Bretons, calm the fuck down. And then from then on, every Breton child was just born with a natural resistance to magic.
It's kind of great.
I'm trying to think. It's just something else.
Don't forget. Oh, Sneaky, what was it? Don't forget how there was an entire game about you being just an angry gladiator. Elder Scrolls 2.
Oh yeah, it's Arena. Yeah.
That's my favorite part. There's and also another thing that I really like is about the Elder Scrolls universe. If you accidentally get yourself in servitude to like a Daedric or Adric prince that you don't like, just start shopping yourself out to all the others.
Yeah.
So that, like, when the time comes for you to be dead, they have to fight over who gets your soul.
Yeah, I remember talks about this. Like, the smartest way in Skyrim, if you're gonna... Canonically, the smartest thing to do is become a champion for all the Daedric. Then you pretty much guaranteed limbo and...
Well, no, actually, because in Skyrim specifically, because you're Dragonborn, you're guaranteed to go back to Akatosh. Because nobody fucks with Akatosh.
He's not a top. He's the one who took a normal human and put him on Molag Ball's level.
The Akatosh literally tells Daedric lords to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up.
And they're just like, yes, sir! Because looking like a weak little bitch is better than being dead.
Yeah, okay. I like that. I actually like this. Like, why don't they fuck with this god? He can delete them from time. Why do you think?
But yeah, no, but like that's the thing, right? Canonically in the Elder Scrolls, like if one of them takes an interest in you, most of the others will take an interest in you out of spite, and that's your chance, right? That's your chance to make sure nothing happens. Just do. Molag Ball tells you to do something, great. Meridia's asking me to do something, I'll do that. Shagarath wants me to find the Wabbajack, you got it, man.
Oh, but anyway, so Meridia. Okay. So back to this story is
Wait,
Meridia.
I'm sorry, Sneaky. Did you say a new hand touches the beacon?
I'm gonna give you a quest, okay? You either go here and do this thing. Wow, I'm really high up. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah, sure, I'll do it. Alright, off you go. I'm falling. Oh, I'm falling. Oh, shit, I'm falling.
I think my favorite joke about that was Meridia only does that to people who mash A through her dialogue.
Wait, is that actually a thing?
So basically, it was a bug in the dialogue.
Okay, so hold on. Do you know about Meridia's beacon, Max?
I got to do a little bit of that quest, and then it bugged and locked me out of the dungeon.
Yeah,
okay. So you know how when you first pick it up and she goes, a new hand touches the beacon, and you get shot up into the sky with the beacon?
Yeah.
Well, there was a bug where the conversation would end, and instead of lowering you gently to the ground, it just dropped you, and fall damage was enabled.
Yeah.
And it would autosave before it sent you up.
Yeah.
So anyone who was using only autosave just kept getting dropped. Dead, load, dead, load, dead.
That's the best.
Yeah. No, it was... And it was even worse because it's not like you could like do an ethereal shout or something, because you were locked in the dialogue cinematic mode thing where your character can't move.
Yeah. Oh.
And so it would just be like, all right, now go forth, and you're like, okay, I'm falling. It's gonna teleport me to the bottom because that's what it's supposed to do. That's what it did in Oblivion, and it's supposed to do that again in Skyrim. And then,
to be fair, when they fixed it, that's what it does.
Yes, it works. But before they fixed it, like, you just had to sit there and watch for like 5 minutes as your character slowly falls through that, unable to do anything.
That's fucking horrifying.
It's the best thing ever. It's one of my favorite bugs.
No, my favorite bug by far in Skyrim was the dragons now fly backwards bug, in which
that was a great one.
A dragon showed up. I was like, oh shit, a dragon. Started flying backwards, hit a mountain, and died.
My personal least favorite was I started playing it, and then I was playing, I was having fun. I got the thing where you fight the first dragon.
Right, and he flew
up. Ran into a bug that they still haven't fixed to this day, where sometimes he dies, but he doesn't register as dead, so you can't eat his soul.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that seems like a bit of a problem.
Oh, it gets even better, Fiend. It gets even better. So, the thing here is that Meridia is anti-undead, heal people, save the sick.
That's also one of my other favorite things. There aren't really good gods. It's just, what's Meridia's job? She's anti-undead, and she likes the light. Oh, so she's good? No.
She's anti-undead to the point of like, here's this vampire doing charity and helping the sick. Murder them!
Stab them with my light sword.
but they're helping people. Kill them! Undead abomination! Triggered. Yeah. Yeah, also, Shagro asked someone... Yeah. We already talked about how he turns people into cheese and kills people by falling them to death because they insulted his beard.
And don't forget the fact that he has a mystical artifact that 2 of its effects are you're a chicken and you're a and unlike in the game, that doesn't actually reverse itself when you get hit.
Oh, no. The other 2 effects are you're a pile of gold now and you're a sweet roll.
Yeah. And that person's literally just a sweet roll.
Lagging. I have 0 dropped frames. So if it's lagging, it's you, man.
I think he doesn't understand what a delay is. To be fair, neither does Sneaky, but he's just stupid and can't turn it off.
Well, no, I can turn it off. It's just they keep changing who's allowed to add and remove delay.
Ah.
Anyway.
Oh, you know what? There was one bug I enjoyed dicking around with occasionally. The zombie spell on dragon corpses. Just the ragdolls that would occur.
Oh, right, yeah.
That was always entertaining.
I still love the river is now lettuce bug that you could do in Oblivion.
Oh, my personal favorite.
This sounds like a good way to kill your system.
Yes.
No, the best way to kill your system was to use the item duplication glitch on anything that had physics.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Oh, fucking, what was it? Mandrake root? Oh.
Yeah.
If you duped Mandrake root, that was GG.
Well, so, Max, because the problem was, basically, when you duplicated an item, it was super hard to control how much of it you got, and it didn't put it in your inventory, it put it on the ground.
Oh, no.
That means
I see the problem.
All physics enabled.
Oh, boy.
And because this was Oblivion...
Yeah, doesn't the game world load every physics object on the overworld at once when you load in?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh no.
Yeah.
So, I would say, if you were super lucky, you tried it in a city, and then you could frantically hit the map button, and you could fast travel out of the city, and then you just had to go, okay, that city, I can never return there, ever.
Yeah, I did that in Wizard's Home.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But at least your file was intact.
Yeah, I did it on the roof of Wizard's Home.
How did you ever leave?
I didn't.
Ah.
Yes.
This sounds like some ultimate regret on your part.
Yeah, but no, River of Lettuce is where you go to Breville and take maximum arrows and then multiply lettuce, and the river is now lettuce.
Indeed.
But back to this crash story. So Meridia, gotta go out, yep. Deciding he needed to change, he let his spirit leave his body and journeyed out some improper grammar. Multitude of realities that could, would, had, or were existing outside of their impossibility. While the other Daedric princes in the age were bound to the plains which housed their followers and worshippers, he weren't.
He weren't or he weren't?
He weren't.
He weren't. No, it says weren't. It's still incorrect.
Yes.
But
bound by those limitations, since he didn't really have worshippers and followers due to the nature of madness itself.
Is this writer from the Deep South?
Maybe. Also, yeah, he does have worshippers and followers.
He has quite a few. To be fair, he hates all of them because none of them are any fun, but he does have them.
Okay. Instead, wherever madness existed, he could too. Incorrect. So when he felt the dark madness from an individual on a certain world, what is this, fucking Soul Eater? He decided to take a look. The closer he got, the more he could hear the thoughts of the person the madness came from. That's not how that works. And he didn't like what he heard. Apparently, this person was on his way to kill a family, for no other reason than the prophecy might indicate the young couple's newborn child to be the one to defeat him and end his plans for world domination. So he would fit in perfectly under the dementia.
Yeah, thinking on it, like, wouldn't Sheogorath be playing both sides out of pure amusement?
I would say if he was going to get involved, he'd probably go, "Ooh, I want to see how this happens."
If he was going to get involved, he would actually probably make a third faction just to fuck with everyone.
Well, I agree with you. You could make a reasonable argument that the reason, like, Sheogorath would just step in and be like, "I'm just going to not let the death spell work on Harry because I want to see how this plays."
What if I just reflected this?
But I want to see how this turns out.
Yeah, no, you could. You could. Yeah. But still,
but,
it wouldn't be because...
I love the idea of him going to Snape and being like, "Hey, Snape, you could be your own Dark Lord."
Yeah. But, like, it wouldn't be because of, like, cruelty or some shit. He'd be like, this guy is gonna go murder some bitches. Wouldn't it be funny as shit if they murdered him instead? Like,
wouldn't it be funny if he knew about it for years and years and couldn't do anything about it and frantically tried to stop it, running around like a chicken with his head cut off?
What if I literally turned him into a chicken with its head cut off?
I should just do that.
Lord Volda-Chicken!
That's just stupid.
No, it's funny. Agree with him. Agree with him.
His name means flight from chicken now. It would. Because more staff. So his name would be Volda-Chicken, so... Anyway. Despite having lost most of his human side during the century since he became the Daedric Prince of Madness, Sheogorath felt himself turn pale in rage at the cruelty this creature contained.
Something about fanfiction hypocrisy?
Yeah.
Gonna have to be more specific.
Voldemort. Voldemort. Sounds like a fucking catapult. Used to fire Voldemort.
Sheogorath turned him into a trebuchet.
Bitches love the trebuchet.
But can it? What's the meme? Can it fling an 80-kilogram stone projectile? Fuck it, I forget the meme.
Yeah, exactly. Following the creature, it didn't take long before they came to a house. Looking upon the house, Sheogorath could see the magic that swirled around it in a protective fashion, feeling the power behind it. For a brief moment, he felt relieved, believing the magic protection of the house would stop the creature, but it just continued walking forward, ripping the protection to bits. The creature stopped in front of the door. And lifts a hand. Holding a stick. Why? Author. Like, I know we normally, like, get on authors' cases for not having commas. But in this case, the author's using too many commas. For a brief second,
an excessive number of commas.
Sheogorath wondered what the stick was for, but then he felt magic gather around the creature, focusing on the tip of the stick.
They totally have wands and staves in the Elder Scrolls. He wouldn't be like, "What's that?" He'd be like, "Oh, it's focus."
Yeah. Then his eyes Then a light flashed and the door was gone. As the creature stepped inside, a dark-haired man came into view. This is the time for the Wabbajack. The fear was clear in his eyes as he looked upon the creature before he turns away and shout. Everybody shout. Lily, take Harry and run! Exclamation point. End quote. Period.
Excellent grammar. Truly flawless.
The creature then just laughed as it lifts the... Jesus Christ, this fucking tense! Pointing it at the man. Oh my god! It shouts, Avada Kedavra, and a green light flashes from the stick, and the man falls to the floor, dead. What? What?
What?
Why is there a comma there?
You know.
Falls to the floor. No, you can do that with the comma in this spot.
I think it's because of the comma before the and that's throwing me off about this one.
It is a lot of pauses for what's happening here, yeah.
Yeah, it's just like... Well, because also...
Like, if they put any more pauses in, I'm going to believe that Bruce Willis is reading this.
Well, here's the thing. This is a properly structured sentence. It's just, well, it's missing a comma after the shouts, but it's awkward.
Yeah.
It's a little awkward when you're staring at it.
Yeah, stepping over the body
inconsistent
of the man, the creature climbs the stairs to the second floor, the stick held high. Why are the commas? Why the commas? You're not adding to the story with these commas. You're interrupting the flow. Once it had reached the top of the stairs, it walks into a room in which a young woman stands before a small bed in which the small child lay. The woman begs, why is there an extra G? It to spare her child, but the creature just laughs at her. That was the last straw for Sheogorath. Really? The begging. That was the last straw. Okay. Yeah.
Why would he give a shit about this?
Because the author says so.
Like, here's the thing. I feel like the only reason it would be a last straw is because this is boring. You should be doing it like this. Like...
Everybody's cheese!
Yes, exactly. He'd be angry that there's not enough cheese.
Your wand is now cheese. Your baby is now cheese. The floor is now cheese. Cheese baby. Fortified. With extra vitamins. My dear, I have heard your pleas, and while I can't save you, if given permission, I can save your child. Jesus fucking Christ.
Not true.
Jesus Christ, what is with these commas? Holy shit. I mean, yes, I understand. This is actually a proper sentence in terms of commas. Jesus Christ. The woman tensed up before she answered. Who are you? Why would you save my child? I am Sheogorath, the mad god, and while this creature before you is mad, it is no longer one of mine.
Not how that works. At all.
I may be the god of madness, and madness takes many forms, but cruelty is not something I can stand. You literally have an entire court of people that poison each other to become the Duke.
And you laugh.
And the other court is filled with maniac torturers who test torture spells on random people because it's funny. You may eat cheese, but I was born of it. molded by it. It's just... And for me to interact with your world, I would need to be summoned to it. That's being very generous. Literally just rubbing a lettuce head on a ball of yarn is enough to summon Sheogorath. I am not even joking. Rubbing a head of lettuce with a ball of yarn is the summoning ritual for Sheogorath.
What the fuck is... What the fuck is this character? Just...
Hey, not Sheogorath.
He is whoever he wants to be.
I feel like whoever was responsible for Sheogorath's creation and subsequent lore, they probably needed hugs. I should put them on the list of people who need hugs.
Oh, by the way, as a theatrical entrance in Oblivion, Sheogorath invites you into a room. You walk in and sit down on a chair. He goes, "Hi. The wall is now butterflies!" And the walls turn into butterflies.
That's an entrance.
Yes.
Wow, that's a fucking entrance.
Yeah.
Also, he is sometimes Irish.
Yes. Anyway, so, yeah, the author does get this right at least. How do I summon you? Just call out my name. Yeah, pretty much. Like even Sheogorath admits that the whole rubbing a ball of a head of lettuce with a ball of yarn isn't even required to summon him because he's technically already inside every person, or some shit like that. I don't know what I can say, guys. I don't know what I can do on my end. It's just everything is literally perfect. I have 0% dropped frames. My output's been stable. The stream health is reading as perfectly stable and hasn't bumped up and down at all. So on my end, there is literally nothing I can do. Just call my name, Jaguar, blah blah blah. Who are you to stand in the way of Lord Voldemort? A friend of the Potters. I'm feeling generous, so if you don't want to die, leave. Be silent, creature. This child is under my protection, and you will never lay your hands on him. Sneering in anger, the creature points its stick at him and shouts Avada Kedavra. Again, letting a beam of green light shoot out from the tip of the stick. Sheogorath simply lifts his hands and catches the beam before he, with a slight flick of the wrist, throws it back at the creature. Shock and fear can be seen in the eyes of the creature just before it is hit. The beam hits in the middle of the chest, causing a ring of green sparks to fly throughout the room. From behind him, he can hear the cries of the baby and he turns around, because the baby is crying due to one of the green sparks slashing his head into a lightning scar shape. That's not how Avada Kedavra works. That's not how godhood works. That's not how Daedric Lords work. That's not how any of this works. I mean, like, look, there is suspension of disbelief in stories. And there is more suspension of disbelief in fanfiction as the author attempts to set up their what-if scenario. But usually that suspension of disbelief comes with the assumption the author's actually going to get shit right. It's like, yeah, I'll suspend my disbelief that people can jump 20 feet in the air because of a magical energy they all have called chakra. Sure, I'll believe you when you say that. But if you're like, actually, chakra is made of the sun, I'm gonna have to stop you there.
But the sun, Sneaky.
Like fucking J.K. Rowling. Have you heard her shit?
Literally?
What do you mean?
Thought you were referring to the fact that apparently wizards shat everywhere before indoor plumbing.
Yeah. That apparently we had indoor plumbing 1600 years before Hogwarts was made. But wizards were like, ha, we're better than the humans. We don't need plumbing. We're just gonna shit ourselves. Yeah. Someone actually made a great little comic. Yeah, that's right, guys. That's right. My downloads section is filled with pictures of head pats. You thought I was trying to hide porn? Nope, head pats.
He's trying to hide the fact that he thinks that small things are adorable.
Someone posted this comic in response on Twitter.
Hold on, you went a little too fast. Can you go back to the middle panel for me? Ah, yes.
Wizards shat themselves. Are you all okay, Rowling? Chocolate frogs are made of shit, yeah.
Oh, please tell me that wasn't something she actually...
No, that came from that Asian guy who does those mockumentary reaction videos. Yeah, ProZD. Where anytime someone comes out with something weird, he makes like a quick little like minute-long video making fun of it.
Oh,
it's his entire channel.
That guy's pretty funny. I like him. It's a good shit poster.
Dumbledore is gay. Anything else, Rowling? Ruby is Hagrid. He's trans.
Yeah, that guy does good work.
But anyway. Mixed drinks. Truly. The best. Also, the bourbon I'm drinking, Max, is Knob Creek. And according to my father, that's some pretty powerful bourbon.
Knob Creek. That's a weird name, I'm gonna be honest.
It's Kentucky bourbon. So.
Yeah, it explains it.
Yeah, I was just like, oh, hey, this looks neatish. So I bought it, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, this is strong. He's like, yeah, I usually dilute that by half. And my father is a big whiskey drinker. I was just like, oh, okay.
Thanks for the heads up, Dad.
I've just been drinking it straight.
Boy, I bet you feel stupid.
Let me tell you, if you ever felt like swallowing a fireball, Knob Creek Bourbon. Just taking a swig of that directly from the bottle.
God, what is wrong with you? Why are you like this?
It's because he's trying to speed up the process of his body killing itself.
Anyway, so, blah, 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 burned the corpse, resurrection by necromancers, blah, blah, corpses with fire spells. He hears sounds from outside, he opens up a portal, and he returns to the Shivering Isles. And Cyrus is racked in grief, and he's crying, and everyone's dead, and then Hagrid shows up, and they sit down, they have a very well thought out conversation that proves Cyrus is innocent, and then they go after Peter Pettigrew as the real traitor. You see, Knob Creek is it puts some fire in your stomach. That's what it does. Back in his palace, Sheogorath stood next to the cot he summoned, looking down at the sleeping child. He could give the child to his champion, but they hadn't talked in more 70 years, so that probably wouldn't work. He could give the child to his followers, and that was a really bad idea for, let's face it, a mad person really isn't fit to raise a child. No, he would probably do that, actually. He'd be like, alright, I'm setting up a tournament to raise this child here, and whoever wins this tournament gets to raise the child. Also, the tournament is whatever I say it is, whenever I say it is, and whoever wins is whoever I say wins. The last one standing is the victor. Now go forth and fetch me sheep made of cheese.
And then he'd probably booby-trap all sheep in the universe to explode.
Yes.
And whoever finds a way to make it stay cheese long enough to give it to him, he'd be like, you win. You may raise the child.
Or he would wait for someone to assassinate them first and then give it to that person, because that's just funny.
Well, yeah, obviously. Look, the point is, this person is making him far too reasonable.
True.
Must be an off day.
Like, that's the problem. They've
oh no!
A lot of madness
Atin! Jiggalag is coming back!
Yo, I'll read that. Maybe they'll actually write him as a mad bastard.
Or he could raise the child on his own. Sighing, Sheogorath turned away from the child.
So, wait, I have a question. This is something I've never been quite able to figure out. Does Sheogorath know that he's a depowered version of Jiggle?
Sheogorath...
And does he just not care, or...
Okay, so basically what it is, with the Sheogorath, thing, is that originally it was Jiggalag, and then Jiggalag, the Daedric god of order, was cursed by the other Daedric gods to be his opposite, which was the Daedric god of madness, which created a new personality called Sheogorath. And every so often, Sheogorath would have to end up replacing himself with another mortal to take the mantle of Sheogorath, because he would turn into Jiggalag. But in what happened in Oblivion was that Sheogorath had an idea that he wouldn't need to do this anymore if they just separated the concept of Sheogorath and the concept of Jiggalag from each other. And so, long quest chain ensues, Sheogorath turns into Jiggalag, you assume the mantle of Sheogorath, and now it becomes two separate people, and Jiggalag becomes its own separate Daedric god once more. and is imprisoned or some shit. But yeah. Also, Sheogorath is as powerful as Jiggalag was, but with madness instead of order.
Right, he just kind of has a handicap on.
The only thing that... The reason why all the Daedric gods prefer Sheogorath over Jiggalag is because Jiggalag wants to bring order to everything, whereas Sheogorath wants to bring madness to everything, but everything already has madness in it, so Sheogorath kind of just sits back and is like, I wonder what's going to happen next. Also, now it's raining cheese that's on fire. And the rest of the Daedric gods and the Aedrics are like, we'll take raining cheese fire over genocidal, multi-dimensional god.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway. Why have you called me here, Sheogorath? You may be one of the strongest Daedric princes, but that doesn't give you the right to call upon the rest at your leisure. Meridian, honestly, he's got the personalities a little bit down. Meridian, my dear.
Because, I mean, here's the thing, right? Sheogorath would, without a moment's worth of hesitation, just be like, I'm just gonna summon Meridian.
No, he would probably also pop into other realms and just be like, "Oh, Nocturnal, what's up?
Hey, it's your buddy, party time!
Also, all your trees are now on fire! Woo!
Aren't I a great friend?
But
what do I have to pay you to make you leave my fucking house?"
Basically. But yeah, he is the most powerful Daedric god. But again, handicapped by the fact that he is madness. So he doesn't ever actually have any plans. Because he can't. Because that's not madness.
Well, no, to be fair, he can plan to spread madness.
Well, yeah, but it's like, it's not like it can be like a 12-step plan on how to, subvert Nocturnal's followers. He can't do that. What he'll probably do is, like, pop into Nocturnal's followers and be like, yo, you should follow me because here, have a lettuce that tastes like beef. Also, your guts are on the outside now.
Might be down for that.
And then he'll, like poke someone and they'll explode into confetti. Because madness. Nothing can be chaotic if there's nothing to be chaotic. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, mostly he just sits around and watches people entertain him. Because he's just like, I don't have plans for anything, because I can't plan. Anyway. So, help. Why would you, of all Daedra, need help? What could you possibly need help with? If you would just come with me, I will explain. She followed him, and blah, 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 blah. I want a family. Blah, blah, blah. I found some evil dude. Blah, blah, blah. I took the baby. Blah, 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 blah. I killed the guy, so now I have a baby in my hands. The baby is not made of cheese, it's alive still. Help me.
Okay, now, to be fair, if the author had actually said it like, I killed the guy and now I have a baby, that would be in line with Sheogorath. To give an explanation just like that.
So, I killed the guy and here's a baby.
I went to another world, killed a man, and now I have a baby.
I don't know what to do with it.
I don't want to turn it into cheese, though.
But
like, my overwhelming desire to turn everything into cheese isn't manifesting, so I'm not sure what to do here.
He's the incarnation of I'm so random lol. Yeah, no, like, so in Oblivion, you get lots of dialogue with Sheogorath. And in one paragraph of dialogue with Sheogorath, he pats you on the back and congratulates you, threatens to turn your intestines into snakes, and then gives you a block of cheese as a reward. And then says, hey, go murder people for me because it's funny.
And it's not a long paragraph either. He gives you maybe a sentence for each.
Yeah. So he is literally, who the fuck knows what I'm gonna do next? He is chaotic.
My enemies can't
stupid.
know what I'm going to do next if I sure as hell don't.
The Americans have never read their own military tactics book.
My favorite thing.
Oh, Sergeant Spears. Now that's a great story. You guys all watched Band of Brothers. Well, you guys all watched Band of Brothers, right?
No.
I did.
Oh, okay, so an actual Band of Brothers is based off of a retelling of World War II Easy Company. Like
a group. Bear in mind, it's a group that actually existed, and I think isn't it 95% of the show is all stuff that happened?
Oh no, almost the entire show is exactly what happened word for word from the retelling.
I think they added maybe 0.2% of the stuff, but it's all pretty much stories from the guys.
Yeah,
and they will, when they do scenes, they will have surviving members of Easy Company. They're
telling the scene.
That was funny, or oh, that was sad.
Yeah. And there was Sergeant Spears is a man who, during a firefight with Germans during the winter in this town, there was a company on the other side of the town, and a radio operator or something got killed or whatever, and they couldn't contact the other company to tell them that they needed help and they needed to come in now. So Sergeant Spears literally says, "Don't worry, I have this," runs across the town being not shot at because all the Germans are like, what?
Yeah, they asked some of the Germans later, and some of the Germans were like, "We thought he was stupid.
We didn't know what he was.
A stupid person.
We didn't know what he was doing." And so then he meets up with the company, tells them what's going on, and then proceeds to run back through the town again. The Germans shoot at him this time, but he survives through it and gets back to Easy Company.
He gets halfway across the town, and then they start shooting. Yeah. They snap out of it halfway through.
They were just what the fuck?
What the...
It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
The shit that happened in World War II was something else, man. There are some wild stories from World War II.
There are some wild stories from both World Wars. Didn't Churchill just run into battle during World War I with a claymore and a bow?
No, no. You're actually thinking of someone who a British officer who stormed a beach. Was it sword sneak?
No, it was a bagpipe and a sword. And...
No, he had bagpipes, a sword. No. The bagpiper was someone different. There was a British officer who had a sword and a longbow, and had, I think it was 2 confirmed longbows. The bagpiper was someone entirely separate.
No, the bagpiper was named Churchill, though. No relation to Winston Churchill. But he was a Churchill. Yeah. Who, killed people with a sword and bagpipe.
Yeah, he had confirmed kills.
Yes.
With the bow.
Yeah, no, there was someone who had confirmed longbow kills.
Yeah. And
to be fair, when you're the only one with a longbow, I'm pretty sure any bow kill will be accredited.
Oh, he went through the Second World War with a longbow, bagpipes, and a broadsword.
Yes, yeah, Churchill, yeah. And he served at every front.
If you don't have a sword, you're a bitch.
He served at every front besides the Japan run.
It's not a bitch. It's just you're not an officer if you don't have your sword.
Oh yeah, the World War I Christmas soccer game. That was a thing as well.
Well, just the entirety of what happened on Christmas.
Yeah, that too. No, there's some there's shit. There's the sailor that served in World War I, didn't die after ramming his boat into another boat to save another boat. And then he, went through that war, then became a sailor on the Titanic, and lived through that, or was the Titanic first or something? I forget when the Titanic was. When was the Titanic?
What did you just say?
When was the Titanic? What year was the Titanic sinking?
Oh, when? I thought you said I forgot what the Titanic is.
No, I'm trying to remember the year.
It was before World War II. I know that.
Well, no shit. Well, point being is that this guy served on both World War I and the Titanic, and in the Titanic, he survived because he was trapped underwater on a metal grate. But when the boiler exploded, he was protected by that metal grate and was actually shot up to the surface because of the grate. And then, when World War II came around, he was one of the civilian captains that went to Dunkirk. Like, he had a wild fucking life.
He basically got involved in literally everything.
But
or there's the story of the it was an Asian American soldier for the U.S. He and his company were pinned by foxhole, were pinned by German machine gun net, and he's like, at one point I just kind of got sick of it. So he got up, took out a grenade, started running up the hill, got shot in the so that he couldn't throw the grenade, but he hadn't pulled the pin out. So he used his other arm to pull the pin on the grenade, then used his other arm to throw the grenade with his bum arm, and took out the nest.
Other shit that happened, like this is actually a sad story.
You know what? We're going way off track.
Yeah, we are.
Finish yours. Then I'm gonna tell them some of the crazy stories that governments had. Go ahead.
I was gonna say for a finisher, just to get back to the story, is there was a really sad moment. Again, this is something that happened in that the Easy Company was passing through an area where Germans had surrendered, and they met up with a guy that was speaking perfect English, and they're like, "Dude, what's going on?" And the guy was like, "Well, my family's from Oregon, but we're originally from Germany, and so when the war started and the call of arms came out, my family went back to Germany to serve. It was before America got involved. And so here I am on the German side. Do you have a cigarette?" And they give him a cigarette or some shit, or another sergeant gives him a cigarette or some shit, and they walk away. They're like, "Oh, like when you're watching that scene, you're thinking, we're all just people in the end." Like even the Easy Company's like, "Oh, that could have been us. We could have been on a different side if our parents had answered a call to arms to their home country. That could, And then you hear gunshots in the background, and what happened was the lieutenant had executed them all with a
for literally no
Tommy
reason.
gun. And it was just like, oh. Oh yeah, the Japanese soldier that stayed at his island post 29 years after World War II ended. That too.
There were actually quite
soldiers.
a few Japanese soldiers. There's actually a lot of stories of that. It was not just one soldier.
Yeah,
like,
They still find them to this day on random islands.
Yeah, just like, guys, the war's been over. What the fuck do you mean the war was over?
Nani desu ka? We animu now.
I believe the Japanese government still maintains an office of reintegration or something.
Yeah, they do.
For when they find those guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, and every so often you'll see a story of so they had to fucking pull up this old retired admiral to be like, guys, we're done. Go home.
Yeah.
Or not even that. Sometimes they're like, so we showed them everything, and they were kind of like, oh, I've wasted my life. Sorry about that.
Yep. The pure bastards. Yeah. Anyway, I need you to help me raise a baby. Excuse me, Nami the fuck. I know how it sounds. I have 3 reasons for you. Blah, 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 blah. You're helping me. Prophecy, vanquish evil person thing. Blah, blah, blah. Bring hope to his world. None of the other Daedric princes I would even think about because you got boobs and you're a good person. And I helped you back when I was a mortal hunting vampires and undead. I can't raise him alone, my presence would hurt him. But you can negate that presence and turn him into something good. Turn him into a fucking anti-undead fanatic, which, I mean, isn't all that bad, but still, it's a fanatic. My dear, I promised his mother I would save him, but I need your help to raise him because blah blah blah, this is a very sane plan put through by Sheogorath for someone who's supposed to be crazy. I agree with your reasons that you have given, Sheogorath. I will raise him.
So this isn't a story about Sheogorath raising a kid, this is a story about Meridia raising a kid.
And then they touched their hands together, and the magic swirled around them, and it punctured the child, and they looked at the child in shock as they realized the child was now their child.
Not how that works.
And his hair had turned into molten gold, and his eyes were now emerald green with the leaves of the trees, and he looked like a mixture of Sheogorath and Meridia.
That'd actually be a pretty ugly child.
Yeah.
More like the sunlight seen through the leaves. What the fuck does that even mean? Like, actually,
I'm sorry, all I can imagine now is Sheogorath's head on a baby.
No, that's exactly what should have happened.
Ah! I'm a baby now! Wah!
Meridia, I need you to help me raise a child. Is the child you, Sheogorath? No.
Oh, let me just pull up this...
Shelves Plan 32C.
Let me just pull up this blanket. Ha! Fooled you! I am the baby!
I think you're enjoying this a little too much.
Sheogorath is great, because you get to do, like, crack-level shit, but have it be completely serious. We must now rename him, because he is now our child. His name is... Halios Meridian Sheoth.
No. Yeah, Sneaky, the chat wants us to go back to World War II.
Fuck World War II.
But I want to tell the story about the German counterfeiting.
Smiling down on the child, Meridia gently whispers, "My little Halios. My little Halios! My little Halios!"
I'll be honest, it just sounds like he's gonna have bad breath for the rest of his life.
I mean, I know what they were going for. Helios, sun. But
I'm aware.
Instead, they have the bacteria that causes bad breath.
Halitosis.
Oh, boy.
Telegraph looks at him. He is indeed my child. His name is Halitosis. Don't you mean Helios? No. He's got terrible breath. That's his gift from me.
On Earth, the name Harry Potter disappears from the Book of Belonging in the Ministry of Magic, which contains all the names of every wizard and witch ever. And it was replaced with the name Halios Meridian Sheoth.
Look, I know the Ministry of Magic is incompetent, but do they...
I love this author's note. I love this author's note. This is a crossover between Harry Potter and the Elder Scrolls. No shit! No shit, author. This is a crossover between Harry Potter and the Elder Scrolls. I couldn't tell. I have...
Wait, I came here for a Harry Potter Lord of the Rings crossover. I know those exist, don't you dare pull one up.
In which Harry is saved by the Aedra or the Daedra and is given to a hero of... this is the other sort of stories he read. But what would happen if he was raised by the one who saved him? In this story, he'll be raised by Sheogorath and Meridia. Halios will be overpowered, because, come on, he was raised by gods. I didn't realize who raised you determined your power level.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if Goku raised you, he'd probably just throw you in the time chamber and wait until you were an adult.
Well, yes, but that's because of a time chamber, not because you were raised by Goku.
I mean, technically it's because you were raised by Goku. It just doesn't have anything to do with Goku.
Yeah. But not by much, since that would take the fun out of his adventures. I'll try to be lore friendly. I will try to be lore friendly. The only change,
getting literally everything wrong.
The only change I'll make is that his scar is just a normal scar. Hold on, I'm gonna go trigger someone.
Wait, why are you triggering people?
Because he's really big into, Tess lore.
Oh.
You're cruel.
Was he the guy that was on here earlier?
Yep.
Username Sauron?
Yep.
Oh, you're a horrible person.
And, where's that lore-friendly thing? Not lore-friendly as possible. Alright, copy. And paste. Alright. And I am going to cover the second chapter because the second chapter is just dumb. So, second chapter is not another chapter. The second chapter is, warning, the following might spoil the rest of the story. It's an author's note.
You fucking what?
Yeah. It's an author's note. First of all, I would like to thank you all for giving me feedback to this story. Secondly, the next chapter is on the way, so I will write it soon. However, to clear a few things up, don't read this if you don't want to be spoiled. The first thing to mention is the most asked question. Why does Sheogorath care if Voldemort is cruel? It's quite simple. Madness does not mean cruelty.
I mean, yes, that's true, but Sheogorath doesn't give a flying fuck.
The original Sheogorath was 100% Daedra. False. Which meant that he didn't care about the concept of right or wrong as we know it, but the Sheogorath in this story was once immortal and a hero. A hero doesn't mean you're a good person.
I would say specifically in the Elder Scrolls.
Well, I mean, in general. Hitler was a hero.
No, but I'm saying very
Stalin was a hero.
specifically in the Elder Scrolls.
Mao Zedong was a hero. The Neverine was a quote-unquote hero. Being a hero doesn't mean you're a good person. And now there's Halios. Oh wait, hold on. Sheogorath in this story, blah blah blah. Moral compass. Halios, or Harry, if there's any confusion about his name. Some have asked how old will he be when he goes to Hogwarts. He'll be around 12 years old, but he'll be 30 years old mentally.
Can I just say I hate that? They're blank years old mentally. Fuck you. You're a bad writer. Because you just want to be able to make them act in the logical, reasonable way when they wouldn't.
Yep. He will also be tall and have meat on his bones, and he won't be starved and malnourished. As for his personality, he'll have Meridia's good nature and dislike of dark creatures. dislike. That's
Okay, now the way you're saying dislike is this like is the word dislike too mild of a word?
Violent hatred.
Yeah, violent
Okay.
violent hatred.
Oh, okay. Alright,
Like,
too mild of a word then.
If given the opportunity, Meridia would press
her soul-defining goal.
Yes. She is literally hell-bent on genociding anything she considers dark, evil, undead.
Look, let me put it this way. It's a really good thing she doesn't know about Einzul Go.
I don't know, he is level 100.
I'm pretty sure that means he might be able to look at her without dying.
Combined with Sheogorath's surprisingly high intellect and love of jokes and pranks. Author. Sheogorath caused someone to beat their own son to death with their own femur.
As I once had a particularly non-religious friend put it, Sheogorath gets pretty biblical.
Yes. Other than that, he will be androgynous until Book 3, after which point he can turn into male or female at wish.
Not how that works!
I chose to do this since Daedra do not have genders, true, but usually choose to look either male or female once they reach a certain level of control over their powers, with the exception of Bothia, who switches between male and female, and Hermaeus Mora, who's just tentacles. Technically factual statement.
Well, no, I was going to say, I mean, they are correct in that Hermaeus Mora's chosen appearance is tentacles.
I'm saying they do, however, pick genders for themselves. It's just, you know, a thing they do instead of.
I was going to say, Sheogorath has always been male.
And so is Molag Bal because, you know, male is strength and female is weakness and blah blah blah. And
Molag, not something we technically agree with.
Molag Bal likes to rape things to death. So
that's a lot easier if you have certain items.
Yeah.
Like his dagger.
Yes. That's Mehrunes Dagon you're talking about though.
Oh yeah, I know. Mehrunes Razor.
I wonder how he'll react to Remus. I wonder how she would react to Remus. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing.
Delete.
Isn't no, because I don't think she has anything inherently against lycanthropes.
Evil creature. Abomination of life.
Right, yep.
The lycanthropy comes from a Daedric god of the hunt and...
Right. And vampirism comes from...
Molag Bal.
Yeah.
I
can give you power, said the guy known for being a dick. I'll take this.
Oh, yeah, want to know how the first vampires were made?
I know how the first vampires were made.
Max, you want to know how the first vampires were made?
I'm scared to ask.
Multiple sessions of violent rape, and whoever lived became a vampire.
To be fair, Sneaky, I don't think it qualifies as rape since a good number of them quite literally asked for it.
Yeah, they asked for power, and then Molag Bal was like, bend over. And then violently raped them all.
No, but that's what I'm saying. A lot of them complied pretty willingly.
Yeah, but they didn't know about the rape part. Well,
I'm saying...
Correction. They knew about the rape part after the rape occurred, and then they were like, I'm going to do this to other people. Daughters of Cold Harbor.
Molag Bal is not what we would call a good person.
No. Wouldn't it be different since there's another version of werewolves? You would think that. Meridia doesn't care. Technically, the vampires of Cold Harbor and your average vampire are actually different species. Meridia doesn't care.
Wait, what is the difference?
Something. Those with the original pact can only be vampire lords. Something. Awakening the power of the blood of the original. Something. Basically,
Much
true
shenanigans.
ancestors and the difference between true ancestors and fucking help me out here. Fate's Day.
Oh, the true ancestors and the apostles?
Yes. Basically the difference between those two.
Yeah.
Dead apostles, yeah. Basically, dead
Yes.
apostles are your average, and then the true ancestors are your Cold Harbor.
Yeah.
Kedu says Zelrich appears in this story.
Hey guys, what if I had the two guys that are all low so random, even though one of them isn't actually lol so random?
Yeah. As for the question if the Wabbajack makes an appearance in this story, yes, but not until much later. Halios will be given a wand, but for what it will contain and what its abilities are. It's a fucking wand. Will be revealed in chapter 3 or 4. He'll be able to use wandless magic, but only healing and illusions.
What?
God, this is so fucking dumb. I will do some personal investigation into this story later on, just to see where the fuck they go with this whole. Actually, there's no way they've gotten that far though. I take that back. I kind of want to see where they go with this whole he can turn between male and female thing, because I am almost afraid of what they're gonna do with this. Whether Harry's gonna get a harem, and he's gonna like change gender.
Or he's going to be his own harem.
I don't know, man. That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he's gonna try and do some fucking face-off shit where he's like, no, fucking, what was that? What was that? Shit. I remember a manga in which the main character.
Face Off is the Nicolas Cage movie where he pretends to be a convict.
No, I'm not pretending to be, where their faces get switched due to a surgery or some shit.
Okay, but he pretends to be a convict.
Yeah, I know. Would Altroge be considered a true ancestor?
I believe she is.
I believe she is, yeah.
Yeah, because she's Arquade's sister, I think, by blood. I think they actually are blood relatives.
Yeah, isn't it like some sort of cloning shit or whatever?
I'm not overly familiar with Tsukihime. Like, the most I've seen is the anime, which kind of an interesting mystery of sorts.
But, anyway. Yeah. Originally published 2015. Ooh. Ooh. Ugh.
What?
Hmm.
Yes, Moth Tsukihime did get an anime. It's 12 episodes long. Oh! Okay, you're one of those people.
That refuse. They never got an anime.
Yeah, which is weird because like I didn't play the visual novel, but like the anime wasn't overly horrible. Maybe if I played the visual novel, I'd hate it more.
To be fair, Max, your standards are legendarily low.
Yes, this is true.
True, but having low standards means I'm better at giving objective assessments of things.
Oh, hey! Hello!
It also makes you susceptible to saying things aren't quite as bad as they sometimes can be.
Except that I'm almost always proven right when I get constant admittances of, yeah, alright, it's not like the next coming of Hitler or anything.
Okay, no, that's a nonsense metric. That's a nonsense
You'd be shocked, Atin. You'd be shocked.
For the record, I say that's a nonsense metric because anyone who says that anything is worse than the coming of Hitler is clearly wrong and a moron. Therefore, their feedback should not be taken. Anyone who's worked in retail will be familiar with it.
Yes, that is right, my friends. This is a self-insert sound D times D crossover.
Nice.
I want you to stop saying words.
And I will also point out, I have a 100% recommendation approval rating so far. I've never once failed on a recommendation.
That I didn't say that you had.
I'm just gonna put that out there.
Having a 100% approval rating on recommendations is not the same as being incapable of giving feedback that is sometimes overly generous as to whether or not something's good.
No, except I've never been overly generous about something. Ever. Not when it comes to media. I'm just not up my own ass like 3 people I can name.
Please,
2 of which I will
people.
not. Oh, I can't name 2 of them on stream because I don't know their handles, and one of these 3 is most certainly Sneaky.
Excuse me, good sir, I am not up my own ass.
Yes, you are!
I am not up my own ass! Name one time where I was up my own ass.
Do you want the chronological list or the alphabetical list?
I want it both.
So you want it chronologically with and alphabetically, because that's still gonna look really weird, my dude.
I want it alphabetically organized chronologically.
Alright, that's easy.
By the way, remember my favorite, don't forget the best part about Oblivion. The reason some of the dialogue is so weirdly stilted is because they were not given their lines in any kind of order that would make sense to a normal... No, they were alphabetical.
Yup.
What?
Every script was alphabetized.
Dude, someone fucking worked overtime for that?
Yes.
And it was a terrible idea.
And then realized they fucked up halfway through the recording process, like, well, we're committed now.
They were like, well, I mean, I'm already halfway done. It would be stupid to just stop.
Does the rest of them in random order. No one will notice. Also, I kind of lied when I said it was a self-insert, but at the same time I didn't lie because, well... you'll see. Yeah, they do this in other... Yeah.
Honestly, no. God, I like I'm glad I finally met someone else with my legendarily bad timing. But I don't know if it's worse for her or for me.
Gamer's Guide to the Underworld. Regarding canons, because Argo is far too devious to be human, and Kirito is doomed to forever be pulled into dangerous and unbelievable circumstances for as long as he lives. AU. Kirito times Argo. Regarding canon, this is an alternative universe. I just want to be clear, coming out of the gate, this will not follow Sword Art Online. While some aspects will remain constant for a large portion, it will be changed for the sake of my idea of how this goes. While I won't reveal what these differences are, I will tell you that Kirito did not get in a relationship with Asuna during the events of Sword Art Online, although she does love him, like in canon. Kirito also got a closer relationship with Argo and other individuals who are not in Sao canon.
So, here's a thought, author. Instead of just telling us...
Oh, no, it gets better. They are not OCs, however. The events of the Fairy Dance arc did totally happen with some changes I will not name at this time. But Kirito, rather than doing it for Asuna, went into AOL... fucking damn it. It has been 18 goddamn years. It has been 18 years, and I still see ALO and think AOL.
Yep.
Yeah,
and I was gonna say, and every single one of us remembers that tone.
I'm bored. No one's on. Well, time to talk to myself. Hey.
Also, if he wanted to do this, he could have just gone with the game setting, where the game is literally a glitch happened, and oh look, later characters are now trapped in SAO with them.
No.
Just putting that out there.
You see, these characters that he meets are from D times D.
AU already existed.
Are from D times D. Not from Sal. But anyway.
He mentions other individuals who may or may not have been in SAO. Like, there are characters from ALO and GGO that just fucking show up in SAO because glitch. Like,
yeah. On a side note, Kirito met Yui and went through a similar series of events, but he was by himself. So Yui refers to Kirito as father, but does not think of anyone as her mother. Speaking of Yui, I will be making changes to Yui, and I intend to make it so that Yui's AI is a pipe dream for everyone else, and the only reason why she became advanced as she is due to errors.
Well, that and she was programmed to be one of the most advanced AI known to man at the time, so just fuck off, author. There's already established canon for this.
Two figures could be seen together in a room. One was sitting up in a bed, staring at the other with a deadpan face, whilst said other leaned casually up against a wall. So, let me see if I got this straight. The figure on the bed began. You're a devil, specifically a high-class one from the house of Machiosini Sisiasa. Yes, I'm the heiress, in fact. The other responded. And also, by the way, there's already a Sal D times D story by the Engulfing Silence that is this exact premise, except not shit. It's called Devil Arts Online. It's actually really good.
I want one of the people who's from the supposedly real world to hear one of these things and just be like, just call the cops. Call the cops and tell them that they found a homeless person who's high off their ass.
Yeah.
Because, listen, that's what would happen in Chicago. Like, oh, some super cute girl with crazy wings is outside my apartment building. I mean, I'll take her inside, and I'll ask her who she is, I'll get a weird answer, and then I'll just call the paramedics and be like, look, I got someone who's high off their ass. I don't know what they took. I'm just someone who found him on the street. Can you come help them, please?
Yeah, basically. Anyway, so, as I was saying. Yeah. And back at the hospital, after I let him live, the asshole Sugo pulled a gun and shot me in the back, killing me. 4 shots point blank through your lungs and several of your arteries. You died basically instantly. That's not how that works. That was when you arrived, decapitated Sugoi, and then proceeded to dispose of his body. Yep, I also made the local police think he died in an accident and he had already been buried. Right. And then you proceeded to resurrect me by turning me into a devil using one of these evil pieces, which, while reviving me, simultaneously made me your servant. A queen piece specifically, and yes, in the eyes of most devils, you now belong to me. Yeah, as a guy, I have mixed feelings being a queen and a servant, for that matter. Get over it, Kibo! The queen's the strongest piece, you know. Still. Also, by the way, there's no fucking grammar in this story, so don't expect any.
We noticed.
Yeah, it's an OC clan. Anyway, so I'm the only person in your peerage currently, and the reason why you didn't recruit us sooner or any of the others is because you, along with the Gremory House, are in a polygamous marriage contract with Kaiser. Or whatever, the, Phoenix, Riser. Not Kaiser, Riser. Yeah.
For a second, I thought we'd got into a worm crossover too, and I was like, oh god, no.
He's not arrogant, you know. He's just a bastard and a worthless sack of shit and a womanizer and a man-whore on top of being an ignorant pile of dicks. Okay, I get it. And because the underworld isn't exactly progressive about human or devil rights as human countries as are here, he could basically do anything with your body and with your servants short of badly injuring and or killing them, and it would be considered completely fine because there's no fucking grammar. And since the others are all girls, you don't want to risk our friends being turned in that douche to bags toys. I don't want to marry the jackass, but I'm not going to drag my friends into something like that, on top of the fact we only have 6 months before I have my match against Riser deciding if the marriage will be called off or not. The underworld is ruled by a ciscon and a lesbian ciscon. Yes, you could say the LGBT movement is very strong in hell.
It's surprising, almost like they were all banished there.
And suddenly, like a light bulb going off, the devil's reproduction problems are put into a new light. And to beat Riser, you think it's better to have a few blah 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 blah, shitty dialogue. I resurrected you so we can go beat up Riser together as friends and lovers. Blah 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 blah, really convoluted logic. Blah 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 blah. Lol, I resurrected you because you're a complete monster. I'm not a monster. You're totally a monster. You have a higher reaction time than literally devils that were inside this video game. Your reaction time is literally 0.04 seconds. That's 3 times faster than humans, Kibo. And now you've become a devil, so now you're even faster. Blah, 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 blah. Well, you're taking this quite well. I felt different the moment I woke up with the wing thing and blah, 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 blah. I'm taking this totally straight-faced. There's nothing that can throw me off balance anymore. What monstrous adaptive ability. Damn it, Argo, will you stop calling me a monster? Now, Keyboy, that's no way to speak to your master. Although I don't mind it in private, you should still call me Marshiosi in public, you know. The Keyboy in question gave her a deadpan before conceding. This is going...
Is Argo a devil for some
Yes.
reason in this?
Argo is the heiress to the Marshiosi-sama's clan.
It's probably Marcos, yes.
This is so dumb.
Yes. More cow sea ass.
Just...
I can't breathe.
Stop that.
No.
Please?
Quit dying on stream.
Can't make me. There might just be a background family or whatever. I don't fucking care, honestly. It's just a shit story. Honestly, I couldn't care if she was fucking actually turned out to be Rias. I honestly could not care. Doesn't matter what fucking devil that Argo is. It's just a shit story. It's got fucking garbage dialogue. It's got Oblivion tier dialogue. How are you? I am good. How are you? The weather we are having today is bad. I like apples. They make me happy when I eat them. Goodbye. Goodbye. Like, this fucking dialogue, this grammar, this general setting. Oh, he suddenly has a gun this time. And even if he doesn't suddenly have a gun, maybe in canon he always had a gun. All I know is Kirito kicked the shit out of him and then moved on. And what we're saying here is instead is that Kirito didn't kick the shit out of him, but still moved on. And then because he didn't kick the shit out of him, he got shot. But Argo waited until he got shot to resurrect him.
Actually, yeah, he did kick the shit out. Like, he left him unconscious.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah, no. Like...
that individual was given a very solid beat.
I'm pretty sure Kirito also made sure to kick him in the face while he was down for good measure. Like...
I mean, the guy straight up said
he learned his fighting on the streets of Jersey.
I mean, well, I mean, to be fair, he did straight up say, I'm gonna go rape your wife, and then brainwash her into loving me.
No, he tried to brainwash her. That part never succeeded.
That's what I said. He said, I'm going to rape your wife, and then I'm going to brainwash her into loving me.
Which, to be fair, he probably just watched or read too many H-Game.
Barely. Since they never appear in canon and have no representation, they might as well be yeah, pretty much. Anyway, Marchiosi Asasama, it would look bad for your reputation if you referred to a mere servant in such a familiar manner. Kirito spoke in a perfectly subservient manner. So basically, the Kirito in this story is not actually the Sao Kirito. It is written like the abridged Kirito. Just
good.
Yeah. So anything you know about canon Kirito, ignore it. Just remember abridged series. That's how Kirito acts in this story.
To be fair, I prefer that version.
Well, don't get me wrong. So do I. I just have a problem with the author not saying the Kirito is going to be different. Just being straight up, I'm going to write it like the abridged series.
Yeah, the abridged Kirito is a better character. I only read SAO at this point because the world around Kirito is interesting. Take Kirito out and nothing changes.
Yep.
At all.
Nope.
I read this in spite of the main character, not because of it.
Yeah, we all know the abridged is better, Kirito. We all know Isaac. Argo twitched it. You only have to do that in public, Kibo. But Marchiosa Kalsama, a mere servant such as myself wouldn't dare act so familiar with your eminent self. Kirito spoke again, with his tone easily meeting the standards of a high-class butler. Okay, Fine, I'll just call you Kirito when we're supernatural beings we don't know. Well, okay, just cut it out with the overly respectful stuff in private, Kibo. Just get enough of it as it is. Argo admitted her loss. Kirito smiled. Sure thing, Argo, although my real name is Kazuto. Argo snorted and replied, no, it's not. Kirito blinked. What does that mean? Well, I felt it'd be too much of a pain, so with memory magic and the power of technology hacking, I changed your name to be Kirito, with Kazuto being your nickname instead. All your relatives and everyone you've ever known now believe your name is Kirito. Fucking really, Argo? Kirito.
No, Sneaky, I understand that. I think the line should be, really, author? You lazy shit?
Kirito Kirigara, formerly Karuto Kirigara, deadpanned. Yup, although the memories of events can be a pain to change, but something like a name is pretty easy. After a moment, Kirito got up and moved towards his computer, booting it up without another word. This is the best part. Wait for it. What are you doing? Argo asked curiously, with no fucking punctuation. Hacking the National Registry, Kirito replied as he booted his computer up. Easiest way to figure out if you're telling the truth.
He couldn't just, look at a driver's license. I mean, I guess he's not old enough for that, but...
Argo blinked.
Yell down the stairs and say, hi, Mom!
Argo blinked. They're in the hospital. Okay, even for me it sounds weird that someone says that's the easiest method. That has national-grade security, you know. Yeah, and government security is fucking garbage on everything but, the secret projects. Do you know how easy it is to hack the DMV? Really fucking
and yet,
easy.
It still won't get you ahead in the queue times.
It won't. It won't.
Because that would rely on them using the system.
Yeah, basically.
Which anyone who's been to a DMV knows they will not.
As Argo watched, Kirito spoke easily into his headset. Where the fuck did he get a headset from? Nobody knows. Doesn't matter. Hey, sweetheart, could you be a dear and hack the National Registry for Daddy? Like I said, this is literally abridged Kirito.
Yeah,
that's just
this
straight
is
up
the abridged Kirito. It's fuck doing this myself. I have a...
actually, if you read the lines with abridged Kirito's voice...
I'm pretty sure that's exactly how they would write it, too.
No, exactly how they would write it. Like I said, the author actually has a fairly good handle on abridged Kirito, which is actually kind of funny, because if you read the majority of this story in Kirito's voice, it's actually decent. But the problem is the rest of this fucking story, the terrible grammar, the fucking stilted dialogue on everyone but Kirito, the retarded plot, everything else about this story is so garbage that I can't read more of this. The abridged Kirito redeems this story, but everything else, it's oh boy, you patched one hole in the ship. Too bad we're missing the other half. Anyway. Sure thing, Papa, a voice replied, blah blah blah, young fairy, blah blah blah, give me a second.
Isley, you know that the events of SAO take place,
2021,
year, right?
Yeah, 2021.
What? No, I think it's 2020, because 2022 is when they got out, I think. Either way, it's in the next 2 years.
Well, no, remember, they only spent a year inside.
Right. 2020 was the beta test, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Also, theoretically, Canon Kirito might be able to hack, but they only mentioned he was interested in programming and specifically mechatronics. So,
well, no, he did in fact hack the National Registry, and that's how he found out that he was adopted.
That's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, no, in canon, he actually is one of those he is one of those child prodigies when it comes to technology.
I think the words you're looking for are script kiddie.
No, I'm pretty sure you can't script kiddie your way into that.
No, script kiddie something.
Oh, come on. It's not like these things are well protected.
I mean, no, to be fair, spear fishing, probably. emails to everyone.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. They spent 2 years inside? I thought they only had,
No, oh, wait, no, it was 2 years. Fucking, why'd I let you?
No,
Why
there was
did I
only
let
one
you do
Christmas.
things?
It couldn't have been 2 years if there was only a single Christmas.
Okay, 2022 is when it started.
Okay.
And then they made it through their first Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Then 2023 starts. They make it to the second Christmas because that's when Kirito's like, I'll get the super rare item. Fuck this item. It's actually useless.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hit 2024.
No, to be fair, it's completely useful, just not for him.
Yes.
That part always annoyed me, that he just throws it at Clyde.
What the fuck? Who the fuck is he gonna use it on at? And he's a solo player who goes out of his way to avoid people.
I know, but I'm just saying, it also annoys me that at no point is it ever mentioned again.
Sneaky, I don't think you can physically use it on yourself. I think by the time you can use it, it is too late, and you're in the 10-second period before it fries your brain and your avatar can't be used.
Just wait until you're about to die, toss it, kind of lob it up into the air above you, and hope it falls back onto your avatar.
We were all there for the ending. We know that didn't stop Kirito. Oh, I'm dead? Oh, don't worry about that. I'm just gonna walk forward and stab you. By the power of my boner.
You know what? That is something that continues to bother me to this day, because like there were points where it's like Reki seemed to have a good explanation for things, but he always, even in light novels, he glossed over it. Like, how did he do this? Glitch in the system? Like, fuck off, man. I'll even accept fucking ghosts on the internet. I've seen dumber shit in sci-fi, but come on.
Kirito becomes a ghost in the shell.
I mean, that would be way more interesting, and I would actually read that.
Get working on it, then.
I'm not talented enough to write that.
No.
I'm barely talented enough to write a shitpost that you are now reluctant to write, that literally involves us.
Blame Rooster Teeth.
I do blame them.
Anyway. Alright, so you guys ready to wrap up tonight?
Yup.
Oh, thank Christ.
Because we're nowhere near done.
Oh, fuck you.
Anyway, blah blah blah, blah blah, Yui's an admin, blah blah blah, I saved all 300 players by having her do it. Seriously, you have an AI daughter that can hack anything less secure than a nuclear missile silo? No, nuclear missile silos cannot be hacked. That's not because of their advanced security. It's because
here's the thing. Their security is technically the most advanced in the world because they're lazy.
Yeah. They literally do not have any internet access in some of these in America's at least. Like some of these
no, none of them have it, at least to the actual launch systems themselves. They are never to be connected to the internet ever. Under any circumstances.
Yeah, and not only that, it's like, to even launch the nukes, you have to put a fucking floppy disk in. Like, because there's nothing on the computer that actually can launch the nukes. The floppy disk contains the entire program to launch the nuke.
And by the way, it's not a small one. It's one of the ones that's the size of like a pizza box.
Yeah. So, you actually can't hack nuclear missile silos. I know this is supposed to be like 2022 or whatever, and Japan, but Japan doesn't have nuclear missile silos in this universe either. So I can only assume they're talking about Russia or the U.S., and both of those are in the same state of disrepair, so probably you can't hack either of them.
One of my personal favorite, much as I may dislike John Oliver at some time, the expose he did on the state of the nuclear missile silos.
Yeah,
it was kind of funny.
Yeah, that was pretty
One of them,
funny.
it's like, oh yeah, so this door literally says should not remain open, but we don't have a way to keep it open, so we keep it propped open with a crowbar.
I believe it's only 64 megabytes, Pedro. Welcome to the U.S.
I'm just saying, and I'm pretty sure the overwhelming majority of that 64 megabytes is just map data.
And authorization.
No, but it's like it's all map data and authorization. Then they just go like they'll get a phone call saying launch the nukes at the Kremlin. So then they'll input the Kremlin coordinates for the Kremlin, send out the authorization codes, and away goes a nuke.
First, you gotta put the floppy disks in, then you have to put the two keys in and turn them simultaneously, and then input the code. It's so dumb.
Like, it is quite literally unhackable by today's standards.
Also, you can't hack the United States nuclear power plants. Not because they're not connected to the internet, they are. There is nothing on digitally in a nuclear power plant in America that can control the power plant.
Yeah.
All of it is analog.
Which is really smart. Which makes me skeptical that my government did it.
Yeah. No,
on purpose.
That was. Oh no, it was totally on purpose, just not for the reason you think.
It was cheaper.
Yes.
It was cheap, and people don't think ahead. Although, to be fair, I'd love to see like a comedy movie where it's like, oh, we're gonna steal the launch codes, and it's like, oh, boss, we got a problem. What? I can't find a USB port.
Yeah.
What? Yeah, there's these big like square vinyl records. What the fuck are these?
Yeah. Look, you see, C8, we got to where we are by no one else knowing what we're gonna do. Because if we don't know what we're gonna do, they can't know what we're gonna do. So therefore, no one could counter what we did, because we didn't know we were gonna do it until we did it.
But yeah, so because our government was cheap and lazy, and we haven't had a balanced budget for God knows how many years, our nuclear silos are unhackable. Because, like, if you took the average modern-day Russian or Chinese hacker, who at this point is, what, 20 years old, who are like a bunch of 20-year-olds?
20s, 30s, yeah.
And you showed them a computer that runs off of... I don't think they even run off of DOS, do they?
No.
No. It's something that doesn't even run off DOS.
Oh shit, that's right. That was pre-DOS.
And uses floppy disks. They'd look at their superior like,
what do you want me to do?
What am I supposed to do with this? Do I put my dick? Is that what I'm supposed to do?
Do I put my dick? Are you making a small dick joke at me?
No, it was a confusion joke. But I mean, I guess it could be a small dick joke.
Yeah, it's fucking American, man.
Listen, the reason we still exist as a country is because we worship the god of artillery.
Clearly. So how far can your new gun shoot? Oh, about 270 miles. America,
Why?
What the fuck?
Why are you like this, America?
America, hold on, Britain.
We're gonna put it on a boat.
Hold on, Britain. We're shooting over you. What are you shooting over us? A railgun round. Oh, what? Boom! Yeah, we hit Sweden. What?
I mean, wait, we hit Sweden. Crap.
I'm just having fucking interstellar flashbacks.
Hold on.
Don't move,
what
Max.
if I gave it fragments that had fragments? It's a double, triple-barreled shotgun.
All right, so these should curve around you, Sneaky. City destroyed. Oops.
Aim for Norway. Maybe we will. I was talking to someone from Norway, and I was like, dude, look, you can just petition to become the 51st state of the United States, because our legal charter allows that.
It does, actually. At no point does it say that you have to be physically attached to the United States.
You can just straight up...
Alaska and Hawaii.
You could just straight up just be like, alright, you know what, Canada isn't going too great for us. Hey, United States, can we be a new state? And all the states have to vote on it, but if a majority agrees, then you're a new state.
Now, okay, to be fair, we haven't even let a bunch of people that have been with us for a very long time.
Okay, yeah, but look, Puerto Rico is basically like the ass of the exploitation joke. So...
Yeah.
Also, fuck Puerto Ricans, because they keep selling their identities to illegals. So, you know, that made my job hard. Alright, so, back to...
Yeah, no, Sneak, that's right, I forgot. The only way the statehood process works, quote, Congress has the power to grant statehood. There is not a process for doing so.
Yes. Straight up. Like, if France, out of the blue, was just like, hey, US, we want to be the 51st state, Congress can be like, approved. And then France joins the United States of America as its 51st state.
You know, I kind of do want one European country just in the middle of the European continent to just be like...
Poland! You're now the 51st state of the US. Congratulations. How do you feel?
Be like, we want to be a US state. So you just want to be a state? Yes.
Approved! Move all the military there. Use that as a staging point to invade the rest of Europe.
No, that wasn't quite what I was thinking. I just wanted to mess with all the map. Like, just go to Germany. Hey, so when we ran the show, things were pretty good for you guys. How about we do that again?
Japan, 52nd state. Korea, 53rd state.
No, clearly the 51st state should be Japan.
No, the 51st state's gonna be Canada. Dude, we're gonna annex.
Meanwhile, Puerto Rico's still just staring angrily.
We're gonna annex Canada so hard. It's coming. Just wait for it.
Look, we're not annexing you because we want Canada. We're annexing you so we can build a bigger oil pipeline.
We want your oil. We're not annexing for your people. We're annexing you for your oil. Anyway, so, I mean, this story just continues to be really dumb. The AI is super OP. How strong are you? Oh, I'm at this power level. My family doesn't let me learn any of their special powers or my super fighting style that turns me into Goku because they want me to get married to Riser. So I'll only be able to learn those techniques after I get married or after I beat them. Blah blah blah, so we just have to get strong in 6 months. You do know I'm the master here. Yeah, but blah 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 reasons, blah blah. Yeah, that would probably work, blah blah blah. Alright, this is what we're gonna do. Wait, no, I'm the master. Yeah, but you're gonna listen to me. Okay, I'm gonna listen to you. Wait, no, I'm the master. Yeah, but you're listening to me now. Okay, wait a second, hold on. I'm the master here. Why am I listening to you? Like, they're trying to do like an Abbott and Costello skit, but it's just fucking bad.
Yeah.
Wait, why are you acting like I'm the master? Well, I don't know, maybe because you were my guild master and it's just instinctual to listen to you at this point. You have an overwhelming commanding aura. And I just follow your orders on reflex. You are exaggerating. It's not like I ever gave out orders. Ha, whatever. I guess I'm just a dumb frontliner then. Well, let's go train. We only have 6 months. 4 months later, after they got really strong. You have to be kidding me. Argo complained as Kirito was super strong now. Monster. What have I told you about calling me that? Stop what, Monster Con? I mean, seriously, how are you a high-class devil in 4 months? And you don't even have a sacred gear. Blah, 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 blah. Since 4 months ago, Kirito got super strong because he trained real hard, and now he has a bunch of magic, and he puts his magic on his swords to make magical swords, and he stabs things real good. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, hey, because Riser's Peerage uses weapons, we should practice dodging weapons, so now I'm going to stab you a bunch. No, wait, Kirito, don't do that. No, I'm doing it now. Oof. Please, no. Oof. Ouch. Stop. Oof. Star, asterisk, star. Don't go into drill sergeant mode. There's no need to be careless. After all, Marchiosa Yasukawa-sama said herself she wants to be avoiding that marriage contract, so more training is in the works. No, Kibo! Stop it! I'm the master, Kibo! Kibo is blasting off again!
We done yet?
I mean, we can be soon.
Good.
It's gonna keep getting dumber for like the next 6 minutes, and then we're done. After around 4 hours of being chased, she was really tired, and Kirito's super strong, and he's really fast, and he has insane reflexes, and he's really strong, and he's really fast, and he has insane reflexes, and he uses his magic to make his strength even stronger and his swords even sharper. And he's imitated all the sword skills already with magic this time, and no cooldowns. And they make him really strong and his sword's really sharp, and he's able to cut through things with ease. And he can cut through a bunch of stuff, and not even people that are mid-class devils can touch him now. And now he currently wielded swords from Sao because Argo had them made for him. And they're magical, enchanted to be extra sharp, and then he puts his magic into them to make them sharper. Because Kirito's really smart, he only went with sharp enchantments so their swords would be even sharper than if he had other enchantments on them. And an average enchanter is really expensive to find. But Marchiosa Yasukawa had a bunch of money that they used to make these swords. How did they get that money, you ask? Well, you see, they had Yui play the stock market. So now they have $90 bajillion to work with. I'm not even kidding about this plotline, by the way.
I know.
And now Yui's playing the stock market for them, and now they have a crap ton of money. And so they told Yui to basically always have $100 billion on at any point in time, and they had her stop playing the stock market so no one would get suspicious. Now that they have hundreds of billions of dollars. And then they bought dragon armor.
Which I would like to point out, the FTC would have been kicking down all the doors.
And, well, I mean, they're in Japan, so.
No, but you do know that, like, one of the biggest stock markets in the world, like, if she's playing stock markets...
Oh, I know it's the U.S. Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just saying, that means the FTC has jurisdiction. They can, and they do get involved.
Me. America.
Well, it's not just an American thing. Like, if there's a company traded on, like, the traded on a European market, it's traded in America, they still have jurisdiction. Now, much like when the U.S. does it, we have to request extradition for people that we, like, basically we prove someone's guilty, and then we request extradition treaties. It's what all the countries do when they think someone's doing insider trading. Or they do what's also become really popular, which is they don't say anything. Wait till the next time that person lands in your country and arrest them in the goddamn airport.
Yep. Anyway, so they bought super enchanted dragon armor, and now it wasn't bulky, but it let them move really fast and was indestructible.
You know what? Another thing I'd like to see. I'd like to see one of those where they were like, we bought big, bulky armor. I can't move at all, but man, can you not kill me.
Patches?
I mean, I was thinking more Fire Emblem Knights, but yeah, pretty much.
Anyway. And then Kirito got a trench coat and a hooded cloak, too.
Kirito became more of an edgelord. Got it.
And then they also bought hundreds of books about magic, combat, auxiliary techniques, and other topics. And they learned them all really quickly. And she hired more servants. And then, blah, blah, blah. Yui still made $12 billion while they were all working on this stuff. And blah, 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 blah. Kirito told Yui to cool it off because he was afraid that when Asuna was resurrected to be a devil, she would be shocked and appalled to find out that he and Argo had become the Illuminati. $12 billion. Yeah. I hate to break it to you, author.
I got news for you. That doesn't even come close to scratching the highest net worth.
No.
The highest net worth is literally billions.
And hundreds of billions, yeah. But anyway, Argo had been disappointed. Even if it didn't mean much in the supernatural world, she still wanted lots of money, and she wanted to actually rob all of Christianity and bankrupt the whole church.
Okay, that's oddly specific.
Well, she is a devil.
Oh, yeah, I forgot that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, so here we go. So, the top 8, the eighth wealthiest person in the world is 60.4 billion. Then at 67, 68, Mark Zuckerberg at 72, someone I've never heard of at 75, Warren Buffett at 90.1, Bill Gates at 91.1, and Jeff Bezos, the guy who owns Amazon, at 108.9 billion. 108.9 billion.
Oh no, 12 billion makes us the Illuminati. Fucking says the retard author.
Even close. to put that in perspective for people having trouble grasping the giant number that is 108.9 billion, which to be fair, a lot of us, Jeff Bezos can buy countries. Literally buy countries if he so felt like it.
Yeah.
Cool. Are we done yet?
No, we're almost done. I am accelerating the process.
You have 2 minutes before I hop out, just to let you know.
Well, are we going to watch Ruby tonight?
I wasn't planning on it.
Dude, I'm fucking tired, and I'm fixing my sleep schedule right now because of work.
Chill.
If you'd finished 13 minutes ago, I'd said yes because it's a 13-minute episode. But
Anyway, so blah blah blah. Kirito is super strong. Kek, Rias-chan is going to be so jealous. 1 month later. And blah blah blah. I'm even stronger now. I have to go to school? What do? Well, you see, because reasons. Blah 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 Kuo. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah shitty dialogue. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah, we have to go to Kuo. Who do you think I am? Well, you're a Bishonen who's a genius with EX ranked harem aura. And every girl loves you. And Kirito froze. And then Argo did another skit of Abbott and Costello badly. And blah 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 Grafia look-alike. And blah 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 blah. I'm the master here, Thibaut. Better run, Marchio Sakao-sama. Blah 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 blah. Why are we enrolling late to school? So we can make a dramatic anime entrance. I shit you not, that's what it says.
I know. We done yet?
No, blah blah blah, we're here. Blah blah blah, we're acting the complete opposite of our personalities because it's funny, right? Question mark. Blah 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 blah. Pointless dialogue that's just reiterating shit they've already said several times now. Blah 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 blah. Introduction to class, literally anime intros. Blah 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 blah. Blah blah blah, anime tropes, anime, Scandinavia, anime tropes. They're still making humor situations based off of anime tropes. Now they're talking to Sona, I think. Shut up with your anime logic. I don't care. Blah blah blah. Argo started molesting Sona. Blah blah blah.
I'm sorry, what? Actually,
yes.
I don't care. Keep going.
Yes. Kirito is acting like Grafia. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Blah 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 blah. Done.
There's always more. It always gets worse. Do the outro.
Yeah, fuck you. Alright, well, I'll see you guys next time. As far as I'm aware, I'm going to be working 8 hours on Friday, but those 8 hours happen to actually be in the afternoon this time around. So while it's going to be nice to actually get a sleep in on Thursday, it's going to be Tuesday time, so we're going to be starting up around 7:30, 7:45, depending when I get back on Friday.
Got it.
So, yeah, that about covers everything. Oh, I might have had too many shots of that whiskey.
Do you have work tomorrow?
I have a 12-hour shift tomorrow.
I hope this isn't the time your body decides to make you suffer consequences.
Oh, probably not. It's just, words are hard, okay? See you all next time, because there's always more and it always gets worse.